Welcome, listeners, to the Chris Talk Show, where we bring you the news and discuss a wide range of topics that matters to you. The show starts right now. Welcome, listeners, to another episode of the show. I am Chris Talk. I am your host with the most, Chris Talks. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to all my listeners. Thank y'all for tuning in. On this episode of the show, our first story today is has to deal with Army private who fled to North Korea, charged with desertion, is being held by the U.S. military, officials tell AP. What the hell is the AP? What's the AP? Army police. All right. Hey. You learn something new every day. All right. All right, folks. We're going to let Sarah AI take over the show, or take over the show. And I'll give y'all my opinion at the end. All right, Sarah, do what you do, baby.
An Army private who fled to North Korea before being returned home to the United States last month has been detained by the U.S. military, two officials said Thursday night, and is facing charges including desertion and possessing sexual images of a child. The 8 counts against Private Travis King are detailed in a charging document seen by the Associated Press. The officials who confirmed King's confinement spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity because the charges have not been publicly announced. King's mother, Claudine Gates, said in a statement that she loved her son unconditionally and was extremely concerned about his mental health. As his mother, I ask that my son be afforded the presumption of innocence, she said. Desertion is a very serious charge and can result in imprisonment for as much as 3 years. King is also accused of kicking and punching other officers last year. Unlawfully possessing alcohol, making a false statement and possessing a video of a child engaged in sexual activity. That allegation dates to July 10, the same day he was released from a South Korean prison where he had served nearly 2 months on assault charges. 1 week later, King, 23, ran across the heavily fortified border from South Korea and became the first American detained in North Korea in nearly 5 years. He was said to be sent to Fort Bliss, Texas, where he could have faced potential additional disciplinary actions and discharge. Officials said King was taken to the airport and escorted as far as customs. But instead of getting on the plane, he left and later joined a civilian tour of the Korean border village of Panmunjom. He ran across the border, which is lined with guards and often crowded with tourists. In the afternoon, after about 2 months, Pyongyang abruptly announced that it would expel him. He was flown on Sept. 28 to an Air Force base in Texas. His release from North Korea was aided by Swedish officials who took King to the Chinese border, where he was met by U.S. Ambassador to China Nicholas Burns, the Swedish ambassador to China, and at least one U.S. Defense Department official. He was then flown to a U.S. military base in South Korea before heading to the U.S. Once back in the U.S., King was taken to Brooke Army Medical Center at Fort Sam Houston outside San Antonio. He went through what the military describes as a reintegration process that included medical exams, psychological assessments, and debriefings. And he was also allowed to meet with family, because he had willingly run into enemy hands. He legally was kept in military custody throughout that process. At the time, officials said they did not know exactly why North Korea decided to let King go, but suspected Pyongyang determined that as a low-ranking serviceman he had no real value in terms of either leverage or information. King joined the Army in January 2021, and served as a cavalry scout. While he was gone, Army leaders declared him absent without leave, opting to not consider him a deserter, which is far more serious. By declaring King a deserter, the Army would have to conclude that King left and intended to stay away permanently. In times of war, desertion can carry the death penalty. Service members can go AWOL for several days, but may return voluntarily. The punishment can include confinement in the brig, forfeiture of pay, or dishonorable discharge, and it is largely based on how long they were away and whether they were apprehended or returned on their own. The charging document does not provide significant detail on any of the allegations. though it does accuse King of knowingly possessing a video of a child engaging in sexual conduct last July 10 and says that he solicited a user of Snapchat, a social media platform, to produce images of underage sexual activity. Sean Timmons, an attorney who specializes in military law at the Tully Rinke law firm and who reviewed the charging document, said all the transactions that occurred on Snapchat were not secure or private and were accessible by the government. He probably reasonably believed his illegal conduct would have no evidentiary trail. But Snapchat actually saves everything, Timmons said.
Like, wow, bro. Like, wow. Can you already know? Yeah, one more time. Like, yo.
Bruh.
Yes.
Bruh.
Yeah, you know, those are my favorite too. That I like, Ed, that I like when you use those. Those are my favorite too. I think I use them the most on this show. I think I use them the most on the show.
Bruh.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. We having one of those good days. You know, always. I'm having a good day. I hope that you're having a good one too. And I hope if you're not, I hope I can brighten up your day. Okay. So let's get into it. Let me break this down for y'all. Folks, let me give you my view and my opinion on this. This guy is definitely going to jail for a very, very, very long time. I do not know why this guy really thought that he was going to get away with this. First things first, let's tap on this one. There's something that I caught onto in this story. Ed, please pull this story up on the big screen for me, please. Thank you so much. And it's something that I wanted to point out. If you could just run down real quick. Yeah, run right down there. It does state that this man walked off and joined a tour group. I want y'all to, I hoped that y'all had peeped that in it. He went and joined a tour group.
Bruh.
Right.
Bruh.
A tour group. You're in the Army. You're supposed to be there to do a job. You walk off and go with a tour group.
Bruh.
Dude, like, yo, what the? Yo, seriously, man. What's he thinking? Like, I'm sorry, what was this guy thinking? Yeah, he voluntarily did something. He voluntarily walked his ass right out the Army and walked right into a tour group. That's what he did. It's exactly what he did.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what he did. It states it right there. That's what that man did. Walked off. It just happened to get captured by the North Korean army. And then what happened is, now America gets all these ambassadors and all these representatives from America to come and try to get this guy free. That's what they're trying to do, get this guy free. And then North Korea just says here. They go here. Why? Because they don't have, this guy probably couldn't give them nothing like it stated. And he had no real rank in the military. So there was no reason really to hold him. Because, I mean, what are you going to negotiate? Like, how would you? I mean, you could. Don't get me wrong. You could use him. I mean, he's still an American. So, you know what I mean? You can use him just for that reason. I mean, Russia has Russia's still doing it to us. They've done it to us plenty of times. They still doing it to us. And and really, they take hostages like that all the time. They just keep them. It's just that lately, like in the media, they only really post or publish or speak on people who have some type of fame or some type of high status in this country. Because if you look at the situation in Russia, there are what was the tall crazy girl name? What was her name? Brittany what? Brittany said whatever. Grinder. Her last name is really Grinder. No, Ed, seriously, her last name is really Grinder. Wow. Okay. Anyway, they went to save her because she was somebody famous, but yet you still had about 3 or 4 people that was sitting in Russia that wasn't famous, but they were still holding them. Now, North Korea, why they didn't hold this guy? My belief is they could, like, what can we get out of you? Nothing. If we going to take a prisoner, we're going to take a prisoner that's really, really worth something. And just you being an American is not enough for us. So we're going to let you go. That's how I think. You know, I mean, that's how I think they did that. Kind of late, Ed, but yeah. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to let you go. You're the weakest link. You know, we don't want you. And that's exactly what they did. They let that man go. Because there was no significant, real significant use for him. So that's what they decided to do. Just let him go. But, and let's get to the real deal here. This man, they probably should have kept. And just kept him in a jail. Probably should have kept him in jail. There. But, then again, he's an American citizen. And he has to be prosecuted in America. This guy is completely wrong. He has child pornography on his phone.
Wait, what?
Yes, child pornography on his phone.
Bruh.
So we're going to give him the dummy buzzer. Yeah, because this guy is he's a straight idiot. Okay, that's what he is. For you to be carrying around these type of things, this type of information, and think that you're not going to be caught, I'm telling you now, you're a straight up fool. Straight up. And then to make it worse, you are exchanging are just sitting there uploading this information to Snapchat. Really?
Bruh.
Like, yo, what the like yo, what the is going on with this world? Like, really? What the is going on with this world that we have got people walking around doing like this? I mean, I'm starting to get a little pissed off, man. I'm a father. Man, listen. Yo, I'm telling you, it's like this needs to be buried under the jail. This guy needs to be buried under the jail. and should never come out. Should never come out ever, 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 ever. Just for having pictures of kids like that. And to all my listeners, if you a parent, it's things like this. And I've talked about this on a previous show. They, it's things like this that you have to be very careful of. And this is why you have to monitor what your children are doing on these social media platforms. You see, the government is already monitoring it. Okay? You need to monitor it as well. Don't leave everything up to the government to do, because, I mean, y'all already know what the government does. Thanks, Ed. The government is corrupt. It's messed up. We know that. And here is somebody who works for the government. And this is the type of thing that he has. And Lord knows if he got it when he was in this country or when he was overseas. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the type of people that we have defending our country. These are the type of people. To me, the screening to get in the army should probably be different. Maybe it should be different. Maybe. That's just what I'm guessing at. Maybe there should be something about that system that changes, because this is a person who joined the army just a year before. So let's just for 1 second imagine that in this person's head, that, you know, like they think like, yo, I'm this, you know, like I'm this, you know, so I could do whatever I want. You know, I'm higher than the police. And maybe he really thought that nobody could ever touch him or could ever link any of that stuff back to him. I don't know. But this guy should definitely be charged. He should go to jail. I think he should go to jail. But not just regular jail. He needs to go to a military jail, a military prison. Sit there and that's it. I mean, that's my view. That's my pen. Go to jail and ride. Like, go to jail and ride. You filthy piece of. That's it. That's my view. That's my opinion on that story. Cause that man, that's anybody that contributes to something like that, having pictures of child like that, of children, you need to burn in hell. In the work, like, you know, what do they call it? That river. What is it? Yes. Ed, I can hear you, but they can't. He needs to burn in that river, that fire, that river of fire, because that's exactly where this man is going to go, unless he repents. But to me, he needs to go burn in hell and stay there forever. All right, Ed. Let's pay these bills, man, and let's get to the next story, because that story right there is just disgusting. And anybody to me that looks at a child in a sexual manner is disgusting. And have pictures of them. Yeah, he's going to get raped a lot in prison. A whole lot. All right, Ed, let's pay these bills. If you like this content and want to hear more of it, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. Also, feel free to leave a comment at the end of the show. All right, folks. Yes. Let's get into the second story. Now, I don't know what 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 was that? Yeah, what was that? I don't know. You okay, Ed? You all right? You sure, brother? All right. I don't know, bro. I'm asking you, bro. I'm asking you. All right, let's get into the second story. Ex-Florida governor, ex-Florida GOP lawmaker who sponsored the so-called "Don't Say Gay" bill will be sentenced to prison. Going to prison? Why? What is going on in Florida? What is going on in Florida, bruh? What's going on down there? Well, I know that DeSantis guy. Is that his name? DeSantos? Or DeSantis? What is his name? What is the governor's name down there? All right. Well, he ain't there. All right. Let's let Sarah AI take over the story, and I'll give you my view and opinion. All right. Hit it, Ed.
A federal judge on Thursday sentenced to prison a former Florida state legislator who catapulted to national attention for being the sponsor of a bill barring classroom instruction about sexual orientation and gender identity that was called by its critics the Don't Say Gay bill. Former Rep. Joe Harding, R. Williston, who plead guilty in March to one count each of wire fraud, money laundering, and making false statements as part of a scheme to fraudulently obtain a $150,000 federal COVID-19 relief loan, was sentenced to 4 months in prison. U.S. District Judge Alan Windsor, who was appointed to the bench by former President Donald Trump, also sentenced Harding to 2 years of supervised release following his prison sentence. Court records show that Harding is scheduled to surrender to authorities on Jan. 29. The theft of any amount of taxpayer funds is inexcusable, said Jason Cootie, the United States Attorney for the Northern District of Florida. In a statement, however, the defendant's deceptive acts of diverting emergency financial assistance from small businesses during the pandemic is simply beyond the pale. Today's sentence both punishes the defendant's criminal conduct and should serve as a significant deterrent to others who would selfishly steal from their fellow citizens to unlawfully enrich themselves. Harding was first elected to the state house in 2020 from a north central Florida seat that includes parts of Marion County. He resigned from the legislature last December, one day after a federal grand jury indictment against him was unsealed. In an August sentencing memo to the judge, federal prosecutors said that Harding's contributions to his community were commendable, but added that his intentional criminal acts while serving as an elected state representative signify a betrayal of the public's trust. Cootie concluded that a variance from sentencing guidelines was warranted because Harding repaid the loan and confessed after he was caught, but he argued that some prison time was still needed to act as a deterrence. Authorities accused Harding of using false bank statements for 2 dormant small businesses to obtain loans from the Small Business Administration during the pandemic. Harding told the SBA that one of the companies, the BAK Shack, for the 12 months prior to Jan. 31, 2020, had 4 employees and $420,874 in revenue, while Harding Farms had 2 employees and $392,000 in revenue. According to authorities, Ryan Chamberlain, a Republican from Bellevue, replaced Harding in the state house after winning a 5-way GOP primary and then the special election held in May. Titled Parental Rights in Education, the so-called Don't Say Gay bill Harding sponsored was signed into law by Gov. Ron DeSantis in 2022. It led to national condemnation from Democrats and LGBTQ supporters in a high-profile battle between the governor and the Walt Disney Co., whose CEO at the time criticized the legislation.
Yeah, I can't believe that they do things like that. I can't believe that our justice system does things like that. I don't know if you heard the time that this man got. 4 months. 4 months in prison.
Bruh.
Give him the dummy buzzer too. 4 months in prison.
Wait, what?
4 months in prison. You cannot be serious. Like, yo, what the is going on? That our court system is only going to get this guy 4 months in prison and then 2 years of some type of home arrest or being monitored. This is our lawmaking system. But, ladies and gentlemen, because we in New York, so we didn't do this. You know what I mean? But these people in Florida, well, I'm going to say we, because when I say we, the people, it's not just in one state, we the people around. We did this. We are the one who put this person in power and gave him access to these type of funds where he could steal them. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I say, and it's been said before, it's a saying, but I repeat it. There's no such thing as a good politician. Like, trust me, there is no such thing as a good politician. There isn't. Because as you can see, politicians sometimes, well, most of them, are not for the people. They are for themselves. And when this person, and it shows you that, because when this person had their chance to help the people, and we're talking about the people that elected this man, put this man in that position of office, when he had the chance to help the people of his state during a crisis, he chose to take the money instead. That's what he chose to do. This man chose to take the money.
Wait, what?
Yes, take the money and run. That's what this man wanted to do. Take this money that was supposed to be given to the people of that state that were dealing with the COVID crisis. Because this is about COVID money. Am I correct, Ed? Right? Yeah, this is about COVID money. So during that time, so many businesses went down. And let's remember this, people. Just in my city of New York, okay, mom and pop stores were shutting down. We're talking about businesses that have been there for 20 years, 30 years, and some of them even longer than that. You know what I mean? So these businesses were forced to close. They were forced to close. And at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, we know a lot of businesses was not making that money, a lot of money, because we wasn't even able to go out. And here it is. This man is sitting there stealing money. And let's point this out, folks. He's not the only one. He's not. He got caught. He's the only one so far that got caught. But trust and believe, he is not the only one. There are so many people in these powerful positions that steal and constantly steal and will continue to steal. And they will sit there, they make deals with other senators and other corporations. Because, let's be honest, people, we already know this. If you don't know, let me let you know. Senators, congressmen, presidents, they don't run this country. The corporations run this country because the corporations are the one who fund these people and put them in the positions that they're in. These people only help pass the laws to allow these big corporations to continue to function the way that they do. And this man is a part of that plot to do that. So, you let me know. Do you think it was good enough for him to only get 4 years? Do you think that was, 4 months? I said 4 years. 4 months. Do you think that was a right thing to do? Do you think that was enough? 4 months and 2 years on monetary probation. Do you think that is enough? Because I surely don't. But like I said, Ed, you already knew. You the one who brought this story, so you already knew I was going to go into this type of rant. You already knew it, so you shouldn't have did that. But and this is a non-melanin dude. Let's point that fact out. Because if this was a dude with melanin, like for real.
Bruh.
Exactly. They would have buried him. They talking about making an example. How are you making an example of this dude when you are giving him such a light sentence? Such a light sentence. But only a few months in prison. And let's not forget, he might not even do the full 4 months. He might get out early for good behavior. Yes, cheer him, Ed. That was the right button to push. I know. I know. But come on, folks. What do you think? Y'all tell me. Leave it in the comments. Leave your messages right there in the comments. But leave your comments in the comments. I'm sorry. Leave your comments in the comments and tell me, what do you think? What do you think about the way that the government, or the way that this state dealt with the prosecution and sentencing of this man? You let me know. Let's get into one of the comments that one of these people said. He said, "This is hilarious. We found ourselves once again dealing with another quote unquote honest Republican." Now, Republican, to me, Republican, Democrat, like I told y'all, there's in my opinion, nobody on this board, nobody in government is good. They all seek their own little personal or whatever agendas. And we can see that now. We can't even get together a House Speaker. We can't even get that together. Come on. All right, let's continue. Good grief. When will it end? Don't they know crime doesn't pay? Yeah, crime does not pay. It does not. But and it's crazy. It does. No, Ed, for real. Crime. Ed is sitting there laughing. No, crime does not pay.
Bruh.
It doesn't. It does not pay. But it seems, in my opinion, that it's paying off a lot because the government is one of the biggest criminals in the damn world. Or at least in this here United States. The biggest criminal. Yet these people, when they're being arrested, they're getting slaps on the wrist. This is a slap on the wrist for this guy. That's what this is. This is not no real punishment. In my opinion, this is not a real punishment. This is a slap on the wrist. And to me, there is favor here. There is definitely favor because he served in a position that he served. For as long as that he served, there's some favor. Let's not also take out the color of his skin because he has no melanin. There's favor. And you can argue with me if you want. Please do argue with me and put it in the comments. If you think that I'm wrong about that, list it in my comments, okay? Because this is exactly what happened to this person. He went off with a damn slap. And that's what I'm telling you. Our government is completely up. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The American government is up. Period. And that's my view, and that's my opinion on that. Thanks a lot, Ed. Thank you for that. Yeah, because man, I mean, come on, bro. This man, and then, I guess he's trying to say because he paid the money back that everything should be good, right? I don't know. This is America. In America, everybody think they could get away with everything. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? All right, Ed. Take us out of here, bro. Let's get out. I want to thank all my listeners for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me. And I appreciate that. Also, stay blessed and not stressed. Until next episode, peace.